What's good, guys? It is Sam here, and tonight I have an amazing battle to bring to you, and that is between Joe Biden in the one corner and Elizabeth Warren in the other corner. And they're going to be dueling it out on two epic battlefields. We've got Google search volume on the one hand and YouTube search volume on the other hand. Two largest sites on the planet. And we're going to look at the search volume specifically in the US for each one of these candidates, and we're going to walk through three different time periods. We're going to look at the 12-month, the 3-month, and the 1 month, and we're going to rank them to give overall ranking in each one of these categories for both platforms. So, with that being said, if this is your first time here, what's good? This is Sam, and if you're a returning viewer, it's good to freaking see you, and you had better be pressing that thumbs up button. It's your second time here, bro. Do it. For those of you watching for the first time, I get it if you don't press the thumbs up button. Okay, so let's get started. We have Joe Biden and we have Elizabeth Warren in red, Joe Biden in blue. This is over the past 12 months in the United States based on Google search volume for each one of these candidates' names. And so what we're going to look at, we see that there is definitely a clearly up and to the right trend for the blue, which is Joe Biden. He's leading, right? He's leading by like a decent margin, 20, 30, 40%, something in that range. And if you look at the geographic breakdown, there's maybe 5 states that Elizabeth Warren has more search volume than Joe Biden. So let's come into the 90-day and see what that might look like. So there's a much smaller lead here, just a much smaller lead than at the 12-month mark. And you can also see at the breakdown on the statewide basis, the geographic breakdown, Warren has about double the number of states that are searching for her over the past 90 days. And it looks much, much closer in terms of the actual searches versus, let's go back to the 12-month for a second here. Look at Biden, seems like he's ahead in a bunch of areas, right? From like, he's ahead in this area here. He's ahead for like this giant section, basically the entire half of the 12 months. But when we get him down to the 90-day, it looks way, way more even. He looks still ahead, right? There's more blue points ahead than there is red that stand out at least. Let's come in one more time to the 30-day before we jump over to the YouTube search, and then we take a look at the overall. So it looks like, again, it's pretty close, but a little bit for Joe Biden. And at the 30-day mark, it's actually interesting that Joe Biden has had more search volume for him. But if you're paying attention to all the stuff that's going on with Joe Biden in the news and all that shady shit that he is doing for his son or with his family and all that stuff, and using his power to take advantage of things, that I think is what's seeing the increase. If you are not following along with our power rankings, we do power rankings of 7 different factors, and then we take an average to see who overall is winning based on like Google search volume, YouTube search volume, their website, a bunch of social factors. So I'm curious to see when I get to those social rankings to see if he's getting negatively impacted, because I feel like, hurt a lot of people's trust and just cemented his place as not being the candidate, because he's just viewed as part of the establishment, and I don't think that's what a lot of people are looking for. You can see even the breakout terms here is Ukraine and Joe Biden is that search term. So he's one there. Let's go over to the YouTube search volume and do the same thing to see how that looks. So this is the YouTube search volume, and Joe Biden actually has like a 2-to-1 lead almost here. And you see that he has picked up more in the past 6 months than she has, which is similar to the 12-month view for Google search. And she only controls 1 state in terms of having more search volume than Joe Biden in that state. Coming into the 90-day, it still looks like it's about 2-to-1, a little bit less than 2-to-1. So it was a little bit greater than 2-to-1. Now it's a little bit less than 2-to-1. So Elizabeth Warren is gaining slightly. She also has 2 states actually 3 states. She has Rhode Island as well that are looking for her. So her home state of Massachusetts actually has more for Joe Biden than Elizabeth Warren. It looks like it's about a 70-25 split. 60-40, 70-30 in that range for most of these at the 90-day. Maybe like a 2-to-1 search volume for Joe Biden versus Elizabeth Warren. Now let's come into the 30-day here and take a look at this. So the 30-day, it looks like he's actually increased, and that would be due to what all that stuff's happening. The other interesting thing that happened at the 30 days, we have some really dark red here on the geographic maps, and that means that all the search volume is probably there's a lot of search volume for Elizabeth Warren and none for Joe Biden in these states. And this is actually the most she's had in the past 30 days. So she's gaining in past 30 days, even though Joe Biden has had a tremendous amount of his name exposure through the media in the last, 72 hours or 2 weeks. He's had a lot more exposure, I feel like, but Elizabeth Warren is still gaining. She has more search volume in about 7 states right here. So this is over the last 30 days. So I do see this as being like the last hurrah for fucking Joe Biden before he goes out. I don't think he's going to do very well in the next debate with a lot of people up there. I just don't see him coming out super ahead. Let me know what your thoughts are down below in the comments. If you like to follow along with all of this commentary, make sure you press that subscribe button. And if you want to have your comment read and responded to at the end of a video, make sure you put hashtag Stolt and then your comment, so that way I can see it and and it will stand out more, and I will read that on the ranking videos. That is how I finish those videos out, and some other ones. So appreciate you. Peace the fuck out.